Welcome back, everybody, to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I want to remind everybody the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, Pittsburgh's #1 exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Josh Taylor in tonight for Bob Pompiani. Ron Cook joins me as well. Ron, we were talking about the Pirates. Let's start a little bit about the Penguins. Now, as we talked about just the situation as far as trades are concerned, we didn't even get into the part with Francisco Cervelli because there's still another detail that makes that cloudy because he's on the 7-day concussion DL. This is his 4th concussion since 2011. So even that makes it more complicated if you want to move a guy like that because now he becomes a caution case.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he always has. His #1 problem is staying healthy. When he plays, I think he's a fine player. I think he can help any team as a catcher. The pitchers absolutely adore working with him. They love the way he calls the game. They love his enthusiasm, and he produces at the plate when he's healthy. I thought until he got hurt here, he would be the Pirates' all-star candidate. I don't even know if they have one right now, who it would be. But he would have been my choice, but he can't stay healthy, and that's a big deal. There's no doubt.
And he was clearly one of their better performers at the plate. He was their best on-base guy. He was tied for the team lead in home runs before that happened. Granted, Gregory Polanco just edged ahead of him by hitting his 10th today. By the way, they finally have become the final team to have a double-digit home run hitter. They were the last one that didn't have one before tonight, so that finally happens.
And Josh Bell hit one for the first time in forever.
In more than a month.
So, and Clint Hurdle changed the lineup around. He actually had Harrison in the leadoff spot. I mean, in the batting third. He had Marte leading off, and I think the top 3 guys scored 5 runs. So tonight, at least tonight, Hurdle looks like he knows what he's doing.
It wasn't Billy Martin pulling him out of the hat quality, but it was still a shakeup nonetheless. I guess we'll take it for what it is. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Marilyn and Munhall. Marilyn, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, you just mentioned Cervelli being on the 7-day protocol list for concussions.
Yes.
This would be his 4th one.
Yes.
Are there any other injuries that he has now in addition to the concussion?
You mean right now?
I don't think so right now.
Not that we know of.
He's had a whole history of problems.
He's gotten banged up
wrist,
in there.
Yeah. He gets banged up a lot. It's a shame because he's a really good player when he plays, as far as I'm concerned.
And the thing that I thought stood out to me as far as his injuries were having that hand injury healed, where he can actually, swing a bat without any pain, where he can actually, play defense without any pain. I thought you saw the difference there in just the way he received the ball and actually swung the bat, and losing that time after probably recovering fully is a little bit frustrating to see too. Let's go to Brad in Duncansville. Brad, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, Josh. Hi, Ron. How are you?
How you doing, Brad?
Good. I have a Pirate comment and a Penguin question for you both.
All right.
My Pirate comment is, I know the Pirates are stacked with outfielders, and this is what I would do. I would put in left field Dickerson, keep him there, center field Meadows, and Marte in right.
Okay,
That's
why?
Because Dickerson's good with the bat. He's doing okay right now.
No, I meant Marte
no,
and
he's
Meadows
not actually.
places.
But yeah, why would you want to take Marte, who's your best center fielder, and put him in right? He's better than Meadows in center field. Put Meadows in right if that's the way you want to go.
I would agree with that. I mean, you're talking about a guy, Marte, won a couple Gold Gloves already, and you saw him make a couple plays tonight that some center fielders probably don't make with that range and that speed that he has.
And they're not.
That's nothing against Meadows. It's just that Marte's that.
They're not going to give up on Polanco either. They're going to work him in there. He had a home run tonight. They're not. They have too much invested in him to give up on him.
Would totally agree with that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Tom and Jeanette. Tom, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hello. I want to say about the Pirates.
Okay.
It seems the organization isn't really. They're very happy where they are right now.
I wouldn't make that assessment at all.
Clint Hurdle. Well, I wouldn't know why they would keep Clint Hurdle. He makes some of the worst decisions. He gets out-coached totally, and he lets too much low. So it's a lazy ball team. You see, Marte, as good as he is, they're lazy. Polanco, they don't run the bases. They play 50% players.
I lost like the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, he's down on Marte and Polanco and Hurdle. That's fine.
And the thing
they are what they are. They're 37-41 now. They're a below mediocre team. The manager, I don't think, has had a great year. I don't think the players have either, and that's why they're 37-41. But Hurdle's not going anywhere. He had a 4-year extension last year. They're not going to replace him anytime soon.
That's what I was going to say. And on top of that, if you heard his comments from yesterday, they don't seem very happy where they are. He's not a very happy manager with what he's seeing. I don't agree with that at all. Clint Hurdle does not look in the least bit happy. Got to take a break. We'll be right back.